Wow, it's doing a really good job. That was really dried on mud. Now it's going to capture that mud and take it back to the base station and wash it off. Hello everyone, it's Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do a review on the Dreame L10S Ultra Generation 2. So here's the base station. We've got a clean water tank and a dirty water tank that you are going to have to empty once in a while and clean out. Now I love this robot. It's got LiDAR navigation. So it's going to go around and mop your house and vacuum at the same time. Come back to the base station, and there's another vacuum in the base station that's going to kick on, and it's going to suck everything out of the robot into this dust bag, which you will have to replace once in a while, about every 2 months. It does have a detergent tank. So you're going to add the concentrated Dreame solution right here, and then it's going to mix it with that clean water to clean the mop pads and clean your floors. Let's take a closer look at the robot. We've got some sensors on the front that are going to help with recognizing obstacles. Now this does not have a video camera and it does not take pictures. We've got 3 buttons on here: home, clean, and a spot clean. But again, it's also got the bumper technology. If it runs into something, it'll turn around. But the LiDAR navigation and the sensor on the front are really going to help things. Now ram back, this is where it's going to charge. This is where it's going to fill the robot up. There is an internal water tank that gets filled up with the clean water, and it's going to spray on top of the mop pads to keep them wet. This is the dust bin. This is going to fill up as it vacuums your house. When it comes back, everything gets sucked out this little port from the base station. Here's the bottom of the robot. It's got these 2 mop pads that it can spin, and it can lift them up and down when it senses carpet because it has a carpet sensor right here. It can also move this mop pad out to the side to clean along your baseboard.
Mop pads installed.
Now the theory behind these robots are whenever it's mopping your floor, it has to capture the dirt into the mop pad. Then the robot's going to come back to the base station. The base station's going to wash these mop pads in water. Now it doesn't heat the water, and then it's going to suck the water out of this little area into the dirty water tank, and then it's going to blow hot air onto it to dry it when it's all done. Once in a while you will have to take this out, but you can just take this over to the sink, get it all nice and clean. And the mop pad you will have to replace once in a while. They're just held on with Velcro. You can even put that mop pad in your laundry to help freshen it up a little bit. And again, they're easy to install.
Mop pads installed.
So here's our drive wheels. We got a single brush roller wheel. This is where you're going to vacuum. This wheel just spins freely. These are the fall off sensors so it doesn't fall down your stairs. Here's the side brush. It is fixed, but it does spin whenever it's vacuuming and mopping. Here's a sensor on the side, so when it knows when it's up against the wall, and it will extend that mop pad. Okay, so here I've got some muddy paw prints. We're gonna see how it does. We're gonna put it on 2 passes. Since that's a really big muddy mess, we're gonna see how it does. I do have it cleaning in the direction of the floor. That you can do that in the app. That way it's not going against the grain. Now over here, we're gonna check it vacuuming, and we're also gonna check it vacuuming on carpet. We're gonna check some obstacle avoidance. Now in the settings, there's this really nice setting. It can clean carpets first. Because the first thing this robot's gonna do, it's gonna wash those mop pads. Like if you tell it to go vacuum and mop at the same time, it's gonna wash the mop pads, and then it's gonna go vacuum and mop this floor. But when it senses carpet, it will raise the mop pads, but they could drag them across the carpet. So it's good to put that on vacuum first. It does an excellent job of mapping your house when you first get it. Again, you can put the direction, you can put no-go zones, you can divide the rooms up, you can have this clean certain rooms on certain days. We can do an all clean, we've got custom. It does have this clean genius where it just figures everything out for you. But if we go to custom, we've got up to 32 levels of water when you're mopping. We can do vacuum and mop. We can do mop after vacuum, which that's what I'm gonna do here. Okay, we're gonna see how the Dreame L10S Generation 2 does in the corner. Not too bad. I've got it on vacuum only. I like the Dreame app because it's going to show me exactly where it is vacuuming in real time. Now once it goes around and does the perimeter, it's going to go back and forth in the straight lines to do the rest of the room. And again, I've got this on vacuuming only because I've got a big mess here. We will be checking the mopping capabilities also, and the carpet cleaning capabilities. All right. All right, it did not recognize that cable. We're going to see how it does with the Lego toy, and it struggled with it a little bit too, looks like. So it looks like it's trying to recognize that toy and go around it. So I took the toy up. It is doing a good job of vacuuming. Yeah, it's doing a really good job of vacuuming. Now some of the hairs it does blow around. So I've got it on, it's going to do 2 passes. So this is the second pass. So everything it missed the first time, it looks like it's getting on the second pass. Yeah, this is really clean. It did get the corner clean. It was able to vacuum this entire room. Okay, we're going to have it clean up this carpet mess. It's doing a good job cleaning this carpet. Okay, it's returning to the dock. It's going to auto empty the dustbin. Here's everything the dustbin picked up. Wow, that did an excellent job. Okay, it's going to back up to the dock and it's going to auto empty the dustbin.
Charging. Auto empty. Start selected room mopping.
Okay, we're going to have it start mopping these muddy paw prints. Now the first thing it's going to do, it's going to wash the mop pads. What you're hearing is a couple pumps kicking on, and you're also hearing the dirty water pump kick on. This usually takes about 2 minutes, and you'll hear the mop pads spinning. It's going to do this exact same thing when it's done, and then it's going to blow hot air onto the mop pads to dry them to help prevent odor. So I chose mop only, and I've got the wetness turned up pretty high. I could go all the way up to 32. We'll try somewhere around here. Okay, we're going to see how the Dreame L10S Generation 2 does mopping. It can extend its mop pad to get right up next to the wall. We're going to see how it cleans up these big muddy paw prints. Now I've got it cleaning in the direction of the floor. All right, did a pretty good job with that. All right, and I've got it, it's going to do 2 passes. Wow, it's doing a really good job. That was really dried on mud. Now it's going to capture that mud and take it back to the base station and wash it off. So yeah, it's done a really good job. Hopefully it's going to come back and get these 2 little spots. Now if we take a look,
Paused.
the mop pads have captured that mud, and now it's going to go back to the base station and wash all that mud off. Okay, it's going to wash its mop pads and come back and do the second cleaning.
Cleaning mop pads.
There's the dirty water coming up into the dirty water tank. Okay, so it's going to finish this job. It's pretty incredible. Now, I turned the moisture level up really high, and I've been hearing online, some people are like, the moisture doesn't have to be up high. I think Vacuum Wars was saying the moisture doesn't have to be up high, but I'm fine. I'm having such better results when I turn it up really high. See, I've got it on 30. I even turned it up a little higher. And I've really started doing this clean in the direction of the floor. You'll hear it scraping when it's going against the grain. And I'm anxious to see what the second cleaning looks like. It's going to do the perimeter first. Now this does not have a dirt detect sensor in the base station, so it's never going to do a remopping on its own. You'll have to tell it to do. I told it to mop this area twice, and then halfway through it, I told it to go back to the base station, which you can do. I like, you know, I can say return to base station, and I can say complete, or just return halfway and clean the mop. So this is the Generation 2. I've had this for a while. I did have a few problems setting it up, but everything seems to be working fine. The water pump did not want to work right out of the box. That might have been because I was storing this for about 5 months while I built this studio, and I finally got it out, and then it just wasn't working the best. But check out that video if you ever want to see how to prime the pump on a Dreame robot. There's the L10S, the original. That's been a super great value lately, 400 bucks, but it's back up pretty high now. That's the heat. That's the Ultra Pro. It's got like a gold cover there. It heats the water. This does not heat the water when it cleans the mop pads, and it does not have a camera, but it has increased suction power over the L10S. But there's some advantages from the original L10S has a camera. So I'm a little shocked by the obstacle avoidance on this. I was hoping for a little better. I think when you take away a camera, not that it has to take pictures to avoid an obstacle, but I think the sensors work better, but I don't know that for sure. Just from my experience, it seems to work better. So yeah, look for this video coming soon. Here's my spreadsheet on all the 3 models, the L10S Ultra, L10S Pro, and Gen 2. It took me about an hour to write all that down. It's so complicated to figure out all the differences, because some's on the website, some's on the Amazon page. So this is that different. I have never seen this pattern before. I've been having this thing clean at night, and since it cleans in the direction of the floor, it said the pattern would be different the second cleaning. Now it is going, so the first time it went like this, the second time looks like it might be going back and forth that way. It made it sound like it was going to do something different. And again, I've got it turned up really high. It's incredible how much it cleaned. See, we got a little bit in the crevice, but that's pretty incredible. Maybe I should have had it vacuuming too. Maybe that's why it's scraping. Yeah, it's really wet, but not too wet. Oh, this has increased, yeah, wetness levels over the L10S. This has 32 where the L10S has just got like 3 or 4. Yeah, it's not going to get that crevice. I wonder if we can do vacuum and mop. You can. Okay, I love when you can do stuff halfway through. So I just turned the vacuum on. And it didn't really eliminate any of the scraping. Now I got it back to mopping only. You'll hear that water pump there. Hear that water pump on, the internal water pump? Oops. Sorry. Trying to get a close up. I want to see the water spraying out. Oh, I think I did. So yeah, I think having the wetness level up high helped clean this the most. You know, it's already dried a little bit. Even with it up that high, it's already dried. Yeah, that's actually pretty clean. And for being that wet, it dried super quick. But again, it wasn't able to get that crevice. And I was pretty impressed with, you know, its vacuuming. But other than, you know, I didn't do the obstacles very good. But I did something different where I didn't vacuum and mop. Because when I do that coffee, it really messes the mop up sometimes. And I really do think one of the best settings you would put it on is vacuum first, then mop. That way you're not getting stuff in the mop pad. I mean, you can definitely vacuum and mop at the same time. I just think it does a better job. Now this has fast charging. Okay, it's time for the carpet torture test. Got a cable, fake poop, some rod furniture, even got the brand new Dreame X50. I had to send my first one back. So hopefully the second one's gonna be better. It just had some software bugs. Yeah, that obstacle avoidance is not the best. It's just going to eat that cable. It did. It ate it. Ugh. I knew better. Thankfully, it doesn't usually break the robot when they eat the cables. I've always been, the only thing I've ever had to kind of do is cut some of the brush roller side, the fibers there, but when it gets wrapped up in a blanket or something. But I've never had a cable or something break a robot yet. You know, it's only lifting those mop pads 10 millimeters, so they are dragging on the carpet pretty good. And it can't leave them back at the base station. That's 0.41 inches. You can see they're dragging pretty good. So that's why super important to have it mop first. You know, it's almost like those mop pads have lifted up a little bit. What's that all about? You know, sometimes if you just rotate the mop pad, it'll go down. Looks like this rod furniture has been kryptonite to robot vacuum cleaners. The worst one, which I hate to say it, is the Dreame X40 Master. It gets stuck right there. Every morning I come in, it's stuck just like that. The Roborocks have been doing pretty good with it. Yeah, see, they just kryptonite. Like they should know something's there, but they don't care. But then they just have to struggle. They just have to like go real high, move the wheels back and forth. We never know how long they're actually there getting off of it. But the X40 Master, it pretty much runs its battery down trying to get off of it. Now, obviously, I could put a no-go zone there. But to me, rod furniture, like we're seeing, typically that can get moved around. So your no-go zone may not be always in the same spot. So I think this is a good test. And I have to owe credit to several people emailing me and leaving in the comments about this rod furniture that being so hard on robots. I had no idea. So you could put a no-go zone there. I don't know that it's ever, some robots will struggle and then eventually go around it, but some robots will just like, I gotta go. Even the Roborock Saros and the Curve, all of them kind of struggle with that. It is turning its side brush on carpet. Now see, those mop pads went down. See, it's almost like they got, maybe when I flipped it over, I rotated them a little bit or something, but now it seems to be sitting more level. Yeah, there's the X50. I got to unbox it, and I've been doing a bunch of Eufy. I spent all week last week. There's a brand new S1. I've got the S1 Pro. I love it, but I had no idea about this S1. I bought it. I even drug the X10 Pro Omni out. I forgot how kind of good it is. The C20, and then the brand new one with the E20. So be sure I got all kinds of comparisons. I know some people have been saying about Eufy, they don't like the app and they've had some bad customer support. I haven't experienced any of that yet, but I know they sell. I don't know if Eufy might be the #1 best-selling robot. I don't know statistics. And sometimes when you sell a ton, there are more problems just because of the sheer quantity. So 1% of a whole bunch of sales, and that X10 Pro Omni might be the #1 best-selling. They do so much marketing and selling or advertising, marketing, and putting them on sale. And TikTok Shop live streams they're going bonkers over Eufy. There's one on every time. I'm really on the fence about TikTok live stream shopping. I just don't want to get on there and say this is the best thing since sliced bread when, it may have some faults, but it may actually be good. So I've got to figure that part out. It's doing a really good job vacuuming. Now the Dreame L10S, the original one, I did give one to my mother-in-law, is still using it. And I expected to be over to her house kind of fixing it or kind of making sure it's working right, and I haven't had to do any of that. Here's the fake dog poop. It's gonna, yeah, see? That obstacle avoidance is, man. Now there it should see it. Nope. It is really weak optical. That's even high enough, that's a big enough text, big enough for it should see it. The Eufys will see this. That Eufy X10 Pro Omni, the S1, even the new E20 have really good optical avoidance. They just don't take pictures. And same with this. This one doesn't take pictures. So it's kind of there are people I've talked to that have concerns about, these robots that are made in China that they have access to seeing the inside of your house. I haven't seen anything come, they do. I haven't seen anything come about, I just haven't seen anything bad about it yet. So they do release robots with no video cameras, but that they are going to still LiDAR your house. So they do have a layout of it, but it's a LiDAR layout. And I think when they take the video camera, there's no listening device on or anything. I do know then Eufy's really big into that certification for privacy. They're into it so much that the X10 Pro Omni originally had a camera and they disabled it with an update. So they're all in on that privacy controls. I mean, when you don't have a camera on it, you lose that robot function of go around your house and look. That could be a pretty nice function. If you want to see if you left the stove on or left the door open, you could use your robot to go and search your house. You know, some of them can go find pets. So there's capabilities you lose with that. Okay, so yeah, back to I mean, it's not, I should have had to do it 2 passes. It actually did a pretty good job vacuuming. It doesn't have, you know, it's a little deceiving. They show it. I don't like when that stuff catches on the rim, but did a good job. They show it with the tri-cut brush, but that's an option. I don't like when they put that in the advertisement for this robot. That's misleading. That's an extra $50 to $60 for the brush roller that has a cutter on it. This one's just a standard brush roller. And I do have another philosophy coming out on Roborocks and Dreames. I don't know that releasing robots, I like when they release robots super quick, but they may be lacking in testing a little bit, because these 2 Saros have actually had a few problems. The 10R, the black one, cannot attach its mop pads sometimes. That's a big deal. The Saros 10 had a squeaky wheel. So here's the auto empty. They're starting to give parameters on suction power of the auto empty system. This one has more than the Dreame L10S, so I did get 2. These are the latest and greatest. This is the Edge series, and that's the Curve series, but they've got these weird numbers because I've done the Edge already. This is S5A. Like, what is that all about? I mean, you give us a name that's just cool, like Curve, but now this is the Curve S5X. I have no idea what those numbers mean, but they are cheaper, thankfully. But I gotta get on those right away. Those are just released. So originally I thought the studio was gonna be big enough. I'm quickly running out of room. I wanna keep this area open. I put extra plugs for putting robots here, but this is such a great test ground. I want to keep this area open too. This area is completely full. Over here, I was gonna have this shelf be robots that I was like storing, and then so I probably need to start putting some down here. Kind of want to keep this open. This is where I got to do all my cleaning videos. So when it's time to clean them, this is a working sink and everything. This is my Eufy section. I may need to take that up, but I've been loving testing the S1 and the S1 Pro. And I think there's, you know, people, I think I don't want to start seeing these other ones go up against the S1. I even drug up the S8 Max V. There's the Slim. Saros 10 having problems. I know everybody's been picking that like number one, and it does a really good job. Now the 10 for me is the best, but a squeaky wheel was disappointing. And so there's the heat. I may have to do this. There's the L40. I should just do a video on the L series. L10S Ultra Heat, L10S Ultra, L10S Ultra Gen 2, L50. Okay, scoring it was a little tricky. It didn't get a 98. It fluctuated. It could have been a B. These things do work. I'm getting pretty critical on them. So I changed my score a little bit, but I did give it a little bit because of setup. I did have a little bit of a problem, mainly obstacle avoidance. I mean, 4s, 5s, those are good. But the obstacle avoidance, you know, that's -6 points. That drops it down right away, you know, because I probably could have went lower with those because it just almost seemed a lack of obstacle avoidance. You know, that's not to say that it has cleaned my house and it has made it back to the dock. It hasn't had random shutdowns. You know, once in a while, I think it did get stuck a little bit, but again, I didn't have any random problems with it. So it's working. And the obstacle avoidance, I typically don't have cables on the ground. So if you've got your low objects picked up, it will do okay. And I know I go through all the settings in the setup video. The settings, there's nothing too, since it doesn't have a camera, there's nothing too wild and crazy. Again, the dock is pretty simple. This was really confusing, this auto wash. When disabled, the robot will mop with dried mop pads, then return to wash after the whole task completed. I still don't understand that. This is the latest version, 4.3.9.12.19. And again, you know, the mapping, there's no, it says it'll do a 0.75 threshold. It really struggles with thresholds, but you can't put thresholds in. I do like that you can do cleaning sequence. That is a mystery why Roborock doesn't do that on some. You can tell it what rooms, and when you hit the all clean, it'll clean those in a certain order. I love that feature. And again, here, you know, I go through all the settings, 4 suction powers, 2 routes, the clean genius. They just want you to leave it on that. And it's gonna, but you know, if you have a big muddy mess, do what I did and turn the water up. That I'm finding, I used to go less and less water because I don't know why. But now I'm gonna start turning the water up really high when I have a muddy mess, because granted, Clean Genius doesn't know ahead of time, oh, the dog just tracked in a bunch of mud. But you know, I know, and I could go in and say, no, I want to do a room clean and do it specifically. I don't want Clean Genius to always figure it out. But if you've got dirt detect, it'll go back and remop it, because when it washes the mop pads, it'll say, oh, that water was too dirty. Now, that one, the heat one, it has dirt detect, which is pretty nice. And it washes the mop pads with hot water. This one, the Gen 2, does not. It uses cold water, but it does. And again, there's the fan blowing hot air onto the mop pads. That's good. But it just uses room temperature water. Now, if you stuck around to the end, let's do a sneak peek on the testing grounds. This is where robots go to be torture tested even more. And I've even been doing some more testing. This is the Q-Revo Max V, which I thought was obsolete, but I know they're not designed to clean basement floors, but you learn so much. You learn right where how much water they put down. So it's actually been, look, that's it. But I've been doing something else. I've been adding, this one doesn't have a solution. No, it doesn't have a solution tank. Now, the biggest failure still is this one. Oh my gosh, look at it. This is the brand new, hard to say it's brand new, but it's the, I forgot how bad it got. This is the 10 Max, and of course, it's always got the red light on. This thing's a tank. This is the Eureka J15. I don't recommend it. I mean, I recommend it if you want to put it in the basement, but it's just a tank. It just, so what I've been doing is adding, whoops. Oh, shoot. That's not good. Well, you never know what's going to happen. But I've been adding my own solution to these. Even the Shark down here, been doing a lot with it. It's been actually doing pretty good. Dug out the L20. I've been adding cleaning solution to this. And see, the J15 was moving. I got a sump pit over here. It was, I was like, why are there extra bricks down there? And I realized it was moving the bricks into the sump pit. So I had to kind of reinforce the wall. But I've been adding cleaning solutions on these robots. Now, I'm not doing it to the really expensive ones. These are ones that if they fail, I'm okay with it. But I am finding, when I fill them up, I put a couple pumps. They actually work. So I know it voids the warranty probably, and they don't recommend this. But this one's been doing good. Yeah, all of these have been doing good. That's the fluorescent color. Now, this is, if you waited to the end, you're going to get some really good information. I need to start incorporating this in the videos. This works. Listerine, this one works the best. It's got a good smell to it. But putting this in the dirty water tank, when I was doing all these robots, these things were so stinky. And what I did is I took an old Power Dawn. This is what works the best. When this goes empty, fill it up with this. That way, all you need to do is, in the dirty water tank, is just a couple squirts. You don't need to dump a bunch. Just a couple squirts into that dirty water tank when you empty it out, and it prevents that really bad smell. And so all of these, even the Shark, I've been putting in, yeah, that's not good for a robot. but I've been putting in solution. So I got further testing to do. We're early on. Oops, sorry. Even the shark. I've been using the pink stuff in it, but it's been doing okay. This is on sale big time right now. What is it, 600 bucks, I think, 700 bucks. It's actually a buy now. And I've been really testing, you know, when the basement was first, when these were first down here, it was super dirty, but not so much anymore. Yeah, here goes the Jave. It's traveling right now. But you'll get some suds down there from washing the mop pad with solution in it. And I don't recommend, this is the J20, I think. I mean, it's been doing good down here, but its mop needs cleaned too often. There's the 3, I don't recommend the 3SI. Just too big and bulky. It has been dehumidifying water, but it's just too big. I'm not super excited about it. Okay, there's the J. See what you learn by doing this down here? You'd be surprised at the water pattern. Yeah, this one's just been incredible for down here, but upstairs, I had it in my house. My wife said, get rid of it. It's just bumping into everything and being stuck, and it was loud. It wasn't actually doing that good a job of actually mopping. So Eureka's got a long way to go, but it is built really well, it looks like. And I can also test, like these are the generic mop pads. They do okay. You can see the edges wear pretty good. Here are, I think, some of the other ones, but I forget which ones. But I've been doing a lot of mop pad testing because generics, they sell a ton of generic Roborock pads. And I thought, well, I need to compare them with, you know, the official ones. And what better place than here? We're a concrete floor. I mean, it really puts everything to the test. I mean, yeah, look, it's kind of fun being down here. And I'm not sure what robots I'm going to bring down here, but these were ones that were just kind of like, except for the shark, that was old, but it's still relevant. So I just needed to put some more time on them and just see how they did. And they're actually cleaning my basement. It's pretty cool. But pretty soon, this center section is going to fill up with shelves. I got to bring everything from my house, and it's been, yeah, it's going to be quite the process. But we got a bunch of shelving units, and there's going to be a bunch of products and stuff here. Okay, so here let's get the Q Revo Max V. And again, it really doesn't matter. I mean, I've been putting quite a bit in the clean water tank. Again, this is not authorized by Roborock, and they would say absolutely not. But I thought, what the heck? Man, this smells really good. Here's the dirty water tank. And again, it doesn't smell. It's absolutely, I cannot tell you how bad these smell. You should have seen this when I first started this. This is on about 2 weeks, and it's starting to get clean. So here's the dirty water tank. What I recommend is scrubbing it once in a while with some spray soap, but then you don't have to clean it every time. All you gotta do, this is Listerine. That's enough. And then I don't know what it does, but it works. I saw it on TikTok, and I thought, well, and it's people have been telling me about it, so I thought I need to try it. Yeah, it's been fun testing all this stuff. Yeah, that is really hot. It did a cleaning this morning, so let's just show you.
Starting to clean.
Now here's what happens. The mop pads get pretty dry the farther they go away. And I'm not sure how I'm going to this 3i doesn't have a dirty, I forget, does it have a dust? Oh yeah, it does have a dust bag. It doesn't have a dirty water tank. So somehow, and again, I got to cut this open, so that'll be a future video. But somehow it takes, because it cleans the mop pad and it puts the dirty water in a dirty water chamber, and then it sucks it in, it dries it, and then puts it, I don't know. That's too much. I don't know if we're ready for that. I just don't know if we're ready for that yet. Yeah, but it is a dehumidifier, and it can create its own water. Oh yeah, and it reclaims. So the dirty water, it dries it, but it reclaims it to put it in the clean water tank, and then it dehumidifies the air to grab air out of the to grab water out of the air and put it in its clean water tank. But I've had to fill it up almost all the time. I think it is putting some water in there, but just not very much. But it's just so darn heavy. It's like a little refrigerator. Yeah, when you're cleaning concrete, the mop pads just don't stay wet very long, even though it's trying. But hey, it's just fun having them down here, and I've learned a lot. And so here goes the curious. Yeah, see, not all robots do this, like what you're seeing, how wetness. Oh, low batteries, got to go home. So I just come down here at random times and I can learn a lot. But the biggest thing is cleaning. Oh, this thing's the J20. It's been having problems lately finding home. But is the dirty water tanks on all of them, seeing how much dirt it's actually picking up. The Q Revo Max V has been incredible. The J15, the dirty water tank's been incredible. The J15's not been too bad. It's just, it's not, it does a good job. It's hard to explain, but it's not using as much water. I actually like when they're using a lot of water. It feels like they're cleaning better, which I can see the results of that. Now the dirty water tank on the J15 is really dirty, so it is cleaning. Maybe it's doing a better job of not using it, but I don't know. Those are so hard to tell. But now look at that. Cute, yeah. And Shark, it just sips water. I mean, it doesn't hardly use any water at all. And its dirty water tank takes forever to fill up. The Dreame, I think I just need new mop pads on this L20. But yeah, I mean, it's just hard to believe. It's hard to say these aren't working when they are. Now, I know this was way off tangent. I'm sorry. But I really wanted the J10. It's been an absolute awful. I was really hoping maybe they updated the software or something. I got to do a whole series on the Roomba. Why not to buy. Pretty much just don't buy any of them. So if we look around the corner here, I am going to have a podcast room. Not sure exactly, but it's my sound absorbing room. Sound absorbing panels, walls. Just got to set it up. I've got to come up with a way of letting people know on a weekly or every 2 weeks the sales and which ones are good. And that's probably the number one, number two question I get on my YouTube channel is which robot should I buy? And then there's different price points, and then the sales all determine a lot of things. So yeah, I need to figure something out. So again, I bought these products with my own money. I'll put links underneath them. The Gen 2, I'm on the fence about it. It's going to come down to price point. And what I've learned is this Gen 2 is probably going to be around a while. It's 2020. It's April. It's April 20. Oh, it's March 2025, and it was just released last year. What they'll do is probably for Christmas this year, it'll be hugely marked down, like they did the original Dreame L10S. That thing went down to $400. That is an amazing price. It's not an amazing robot, but for that price point, that's amazing. So that's why it all comes down to the price, because these things are like, remember the old days with used car sales or something? I don't know. Like, it's just prices all over the place. And some cars are good for a price, but when you pay much, they're not. It's coming down to this. There's no set in stone. And these price fluctuations are so big. $300 coupon, $400 off, half off. So this will become a great robot around $500, $400. At the $900 mark, no, it's not the robot to get. So that's where my pricing and the score. You can always give it a score, but its obstacle avoidance wasn't the best. But if it goes down to $500, it's a great robot. You're just going to pick a few things up once in a while. For $500, what that thing can do, that's a really good robot. So again, I do appreciate everybody's support. I'll put links underneath the show description notes. If you use my link, the product doesn't cost you anymore, but it's a way I earn commission on the sale. So if you click on it, it takes you to Amazon. The product doesn't cost you anymore, but I get a small commission. That's a way of helping support my channel. It's because of you I'm able to have this studio. I wish it was twice as big, but I just couldn't afford that at all. But we're gonna make this work. We're gonna really, we're just getting into it big time now. I got the basement, we're testing, doing stuff, learning. So, and I'm buying the newest, thankfully it's March, so I have a new budget. I was able to get those 2 new Roborocks, but I know everybody's been requesting Mova. I need to get one. These things are just so expensive. And I'm getting them early on, so it's usually full price, no discounts. Roborock rarely discounts their stuff anyway. Dreame's been really doing a lot of discounts lately, but not on the new models. So anyway, I could rant and rave all day. That's why I need to probably have a podcast or a weekly show where I talk about robots. And hopefully you'll be able to use my links in that podcast or something, because that really does help me out. I've done so much research and testing that if I say, hey, this week is to get the Dreame L10S, and if you could just, if somehow in the video, you could click on that link and then go buy it, that would really, really help me out a ton. Because at night, I'm like everybody else, I'm watching TV, we're watching a program. If it's a program that I may not be into a lot, I got my tablet, and what am I doing? I'm looking at sales, I'm looking at bestsellers, I'm just constantly researching. So I want to help you with that research. It's just it's so crazy how wild it is right now. And it's constantly changing. And then that's where I'm saying about this Roborock releasing so many robots. I don't know that they're doing, now what I have found out that they release them in China under a different name first. So what we see, I think are 3 or 4 months old. But it seems like these latest ones have a few issues. It's like, maybe we should test these a little bit more. So again, I do appreciate everybody's support. If you could, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.